think about the first trend, really think about confronting, as it says here, confronting the diversity of personal messaging applications. And really what we're seeing is a greater number of messaging applications with a greater volume of messages. There's a greater number of issues associated with each of these applications, and really a greater chance that messaging applications, at least one of these messaging applications, will impact your matter. And it really, this kind of increasing prevalence of the messaging applications really has a lot of different ways it'll impact us and companies going forward. So we have a few here. One certainly deals with preservation and collection. Ray, what are you kind of seeing as far as how preservation and collection may impact personal messaging applications?
Yeah, so I think that's right. There's enough of these messaging applications. They're popular enough. If you've got a matter where you've got a good number of custodians, the odds that one or more of these are going to be implicated are pretty high, I would say. And, I think for a time, there was kind of this view, mainly because the technology wasn't really there to get them, and they were, these, a lot of times the personal messages are personal. They mix together the personal and the work related stuff. There was kind of this acceptance of a hear no evil, see no evil view, where you would hope not to collect these things. And I think just as they've gotten more popular, as there started to be matters where we've seen that some of these messaging applications were central, even if it was just a few messages. Those days maybe they're not gone, right? But I'd say they're moving behind us. Starting to see more and more explicit requests for these types of messages, starting to see requesting parties unwilling to accept, for example, corporate clients, that they have a policy that prohibits the use of these. I think a lot of people now are looking at the JP Morgan penalty from the SEC and the CFTC. And if you dig into the order there, you'll find that there was a policy there as well. The issue was that the text messages and WhatsApp and personal email were being used. And at least according to the SEC, they weren't being preserved and collected and included in the production. So JP Morgan was a financial institution. Not everybody has the same regulations and record keeping requirements, but I think it's just heightened the awareness of these applications. And so what I'm seeing as a trend is that we're pressing harder in the custodial interviews when we're trying to find these, not just always taking it at face value if the custodian says that they don't use the application, pressing harder, thinking about things that might have been sent to them, and in general putting more of an emphasis on getting these. And then that leads to the question of how do you go about preserving and collecting those. And fortunately, I think that's an area where there's still difficulty, right? But I think the technology is improving on being able to capture from more of these sources.